So the shelter is about 1/10 of a mile, I don't know, or less really, 300 yards off trail. There's a trail here that goes around to the other side of Stratton Pond, which is about a mile. And it is it goes to there's going to be a new shelter there, not replacing this one, just another shelter. And there are some tent pads there. Tent pad basically being, you know, just a wood deck that would fit a very large size tent on top of it. And if it's if you have a freestanding tent, then it's got eye bolts around it that you can tie your guys to. We didn't go around there, but I just grabbed a stealth spot at the back of the campsite here, at the back of the area, so no tent pads were available. And then here we're back to the AT, so here's where it diverges, where it goes back up to the shelter up there, or you just continue on north. So that is what we're going to do. And we'll chat a minute about some changes coming to the trail that some of you thru hikers are going to experience. All right, that is Stratton Pond out here. So campsites are somewhere probably over there. You see the lone canoer out there. That is the caretaker. And she has a spot right down here. Her name is Bookbag. And Bookbag has a spot down here, but they're going to be moving that caretaker back up to the shelter area next year. So some changes coming for that, but this is what Stratton Pond looks like. So it is it's just gorgeous. Here's a shot of it at night. It's just freaking amazing. And to enjoy it with folks. Now, so this is technically on the AT, and it is going to be changing. So they're going to be rerouting the AT. Right now it goes along the shoreline. It'll disappear back in the woods back through there, but in 2 weeks there will be an official reroute. So this will no longer be on the AT. The clearing will still be here. It'll be a blue blaze to come down here and enjoy this. There is no camping down here. There used to be, according to Bookbag, who's a wealth of knowledge about history, up in here, there used to be 4 lean-to shelters. And 2 of them burned and 2 of them were taken down. The Green Mountain Club, who manages all this, made some management changes. And so they want to return the pond back to its former glory. And, you know, all this, the sides of it, the banks of it, as you can look around, you can see over there, the banks of it are pretty grown up, and where people come, they tend to not be grown up. So, like right here, you can see how it's wore out. So they're wanting to return it back to the way it was. But this is Stratton Pond, pretty cool, really, really neat place. By the way, the pond is the water source. That spring is nasty water, and it really wasn't flowing too good. So, all right, heading on north on what will be the AT for 2 weeks. I'm gonna let y'all hang out just a second, and haven't been this way, so I'll let y'all hang out with me and kind of see how it goes around the shoreline right here. So it's pretty neat. So I'll just chalk. I won't talk. I'll just let y'all enjoy it. There were several people last night with the group that stayed here that took a swim. That was pretty cool. I didn't. But probably should have, just so I could say I did. But anyway, it looks like we're getting away from the shore, going up here through this coniferous forest. So today's hike should not be too difficult. Hiking out, retread's the trail angel, the quintessential trail angel, is going to meet me at the next major road crossing. I think it's only like 5 or 6 miles, I'm not sure, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Gonna meet me there and gonna flip me up to where I left off last year at Killington, or the base of Killington, the trailhead north, and then we'll be heading out on the AT for good for this trip until we get to New Hampshire. All right, I'll continue the mission and we'll get back to you later. Looks like I've come across the reroute. So Green Mountain Club, as Bookback said, they're professional trail builders, so they are paid. People are paid. Probably a summer work cruise, stuff like that. But anyway, that's where it's going to come in. So this trail will be blocked off, will not be part of the AT down to the pond. So if you take it and you don't come back and do this, you've not technically through hiked. And so there's where it is. Interesting about that term, not technically through hike. So there is a down in New York, there's a reroute around the Palisades Parkway. So hiker got killed last year, and wait a minute, I'm coming in Liebrook Wilderness. Always take a picture of that sign with me, so let me take a break here and we'll do it. I need to put all those signs together in one place. I'm gonna have to go through all my pictures and find them, but anytime I come across one of those wilderness signs like that I've come into another wilderness area, I always take a sign, and take a picture, and then if I can find a survey marker that on the trail, like this one here that was down at Stratton Pond, and this one here that was on top of Stratton Mountain, one of those geodesic, or not geodesic, but anyway, that's survey marker that's marking a particular point. Typically it's on summits, but not always. And I always take a picture of those. So I'm kind of a collector of those. You can call me a virtual hoarder. Anyway, back to the Palisades. So the Palisades Parkway, hiker got killed last year crossing there. They say it's like a game of Frogger trying to cross, because traffic is moving through there 70, 75, and it's a lot of traffic going into and coming out of New York City. So they have rerouted the trail. Before you cross, you go north, and there's a pedestrian walkway over the Palisades Parkway in a state park or some type of park. So it kind of makes it tough because there's a shelter that you'll have to backtrack down the old AT. Oh, my first mud pit since I got here. That you'll have to backtrack if you want to use that shelter. Well, it's not unusual. I mean, that shelter, you'd have to backtrack I don't know, half mile, something like that. It's not unusual. There are shelters on the AT that are a great distance off the trail. So they're not always right on the trail or within a 1/10 of a mile of the trail. So, but that will become a permanent. I don't know if it's permanent yet. It's at least temporary right now, but I'm sure it's going to become permanent, because the it's dangerous, and their ATC is not going to spend any money, or the National Park Service not going to spend any money on a pedestrian parkway just to maintain that section of trail where there's an alternative. And of course they shouldn't. So it's a reroute that needs to happen talked to several of the hikers last night, and they indicated that most of them are not taking the reroute. They're just going right across the Palisades. Now, so if it's permanent, then technically they haven't through hiked, because they haven't made an attempt to hike every mile of the trail. I don't know if it's temporary or what, but once it becomes permanent, if you don't hike that, then technically you didn't hike every mile of the trail. Now, some folks, that doesn't mean squat, and frankly, doesn't mean squat to me either. But you know, as long as you're not, occasional blue blaze is cool. I'm kind of a purist. I like to hike every mile of the trail, and will back up if I, like up at Charlie's Bunyan in the Smokies. If you know, Charlie's Bunyan actually is on a blue blaze trail, so it's not technically on the trail. So when I went through the Smokies, I backed up and to where I got on it, because it actually connects down trail north. The blue blaze trail does to Charlie's Bunyan, where you would miss a, I don't know, quarter, half mile section. But I'm kind of a purist in that, but that's me. That is not how everybody should hike. I'm not saying that, or needs to hike. Solely up to them. Their hike is their hike. Hike your own hike. And just the fact that you're out here is pretty dang cool. So, that being said, that's enough about reroutes. Let me Charlie Mike up the trail, and we'll chat later. So since I got on trail back at Kelly Stand Road, there's been very few water sources. A few, but not a lot. There are some right before you get on Stratton Pond shelter. There's one, but of course the pond's there, and there's a spring, but the pond is the water source. And then of course, this looks like a really good water source. Could be an issue getting down there to it. Kind of strange, all the tannins in the water have blackened it, but you can still see through parts of it. But ain't that pretty? Yeah. So anyway, this is the water source here, coming in before Prospect Rock. All right, y'all, I'm on day 2. So I have finished the orphan section of over Stratton, and retread picked me up and has flipped me up here to the northern, where the section coming off Killington, where it comes here to 4. And now we're getting back on, and we are going to, or I'm going to continue on north. And we're just doing, since I've already done, I don't know, 9 or 10 today, we're just going to do a slack pack of about 5 or 6. I keep saying we. I really mean I. However, yesterday I said you had a special guest that was going to be joining me for the rest of the week, and that special guest is, come along. All right. We got the gang back together now. So come along. Of course, he is on his through hike, and he graciously, I didn't ask him to, didn't send him any money or anything. So he has flipped up from New York, and he's going to hike with me the rest of the week and then flip back down. So he had to catch all kind of trains to get here and walk down the middle of New York, brave the middle of New York City to get from Grand Central Station to Penn Station. So anyway, it's been awesome. When I pulled up at the airport, there he was in the truck. So come along, looks a little different. He is in his trail fighting weight, so he's lost about 60 pounds, but it is awful good to see him and to get the opportunity to hike with him again. And as usual, now he's probably changed a lot. You know how the trail changes, people. I have always give him the opportunity to say something. He's either going to do one or two things. He's going to be very brief, or he's going to start going on and on, in which case I'm going to cut him off because we got to hike. So come along. What do you got to say today?
Let's get a wriggle on it.
You can always count on him. All right, folks, here we go. All right, we have come to the main junction here. That's the AT down that way. Is that what it says?
This way.
Okay, yeah. And then the long trail's that way. So if we went that way, And the long trail, by the way, if you'll notice on that far tree down there, oh, just right there, it's got a white blaze on it too. So the AT's blaze white, and so is the long trail. So you could very easily go the wrong way, and if you go that way, you're in Canada before that trail ends. And this way, eventually you could go to Canada, but you're gonna have to go via Katahdin first. So, and we come from that way. And then we met Mountain Man, who's been here for 5 days and going to be here for 5 days more, waiting on somebody to come here and haul his stuff up the top of the mountain, he said, from Minnesota. So, all right. So we are at 5 Points, or Main Junction, but we're going Charlie Mike that way. All right, so day 2. Have not done too much filming today, but I did it first when we got started, but since we've been coming along, we've been catching up and been listening to the trail drama and what's going on with him, the fun he's been having on the trail. Wishing I was there, but some of us got to make a living. But some of us work for other people. But anyway, ow. This is Thundering Falls, little boardwalk here at Thundering Falls. And so we picked up over here, slack packed, about 6 miles. And retread's gonna be waiting on us. Go back and chillax for the rest of the day, and then tomorrow we'll be heading out for an overnighter. But so far, Vermont has been absolutely awesome this year. Been having a good time on the trail. Actually got dirt on the trail, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, that is it for day 2. We'll check back in with you on day 3. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. And as always, appreciate you. Hope to see you out here. What a world of difference a year makes. So the trail has been awesome so far. Loving the sights and sounds. Just having a great time. Got to meet a few of my subscribers, and people have been updating. Here's pink hot dog and mushrooms, so it's good to see them and chat with them and see they were having a good time. And then main thing that I really had a good time so far is hiking with Come Along, my hiking partner, listening to things, how things are going on his through hike and everything, and it's just awesome to be able to spend time with him and catch up. So we'll see you on the next video.